Hey, this is Christine, your DIY craftaholic. Welcome back to my wonderful subscribers and welcome to you if you are new. I apologize for how I sound in this video. I'm still fighting off sinusitis, but voiceovers have to get done, right? I'm so excited to be participating alongside my fellow talented plaid ambassadors. Yay! I am a proud plaid ambassador and today I have 3 fun DIYs to share with you. So let's jump into the video. So DIY number 1, I'm taking this Dollar Tree Christmas camper sign. I had started working on this from an abandoned project last year. I had tried to remove the glitter, but it didn't work and I gave up and decided to just use the back. So I sanded it down. I'm going to apply some Waverly White chalk paint. And by the way, all the products I'm using in this video will be plaid products. So I applied 2 coats of the paint and here we have it. So I'm measuring the space that I needed to place the tape down, which was approximately 1.75 inches. I then put down some painter's tape on the line, making sure I press it in tightly so the paint doesn't bleed through. I'm still learning how to do this process properly, but I'm just working with what I have right now. I know there's a better way to do this. And once I laid the tape down, I was ready to paint. Now I chose Waverly Moss Chalk Acrylic Paint, which is my secret word in this video. The moss paint is fast becoming one of my favorite colors. I love neutral, natural, earth tone, pastel colors, and so it is no surprise that this is my favorite. So here I applied 2 coats, drying in between as I go. And now it's time for the reveal. I love this part. I like the feeling I get when I peel away the tape from my paint job. So I went over it again with a little more heat to make sure it was dried completely. The green is on, and now it's time for the next segment. I got this welcome sign from a pack of metal words from the Dollar Tree. Now I could have just painted it black, glued it on, and called it a day, but I chose to challenge myself and used it as a stencil. After I traced it, I played with the idea of giving it a 3D effect, but quickly erased that idea because I didn't want to give myself too much work. And so I painted the word with some black apple barrel acrylic paint. So now it's all painted and dry. I love it. So I traced out a piece of brown paper to cover the front part, which is now going to be the back. And I'm not sure what I was thinking at the time I was doing this, but I used super glue, which as you can see all soaked through the paper and made it messy. But I'll fix that in the end and you'll see that. I then used a sanding block to remove the excess paper and then touched up the edges with some white paint. And here I just damped the brush, applied some Mod Podge and dry that with the heat gun, and we're done with this part. Now it's time for embellishments. I'm using this eucalyptus pick that I got from the wedding section at Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago. And this burlap maple leaf from Dollar Tree, just for contrast. And here I'm just arranging the pieces before I glue them down. And then I remembered that I needed to find the center because I've had trouble with this before, just putting stuff down without even measuring. Now it's time to glue. I then cut a piece from this burlap ribbon, I think about 6 inches, and I made a small bow like you see me doing here. And this is just another way I find myself making my bows. I mean, you can make your bows however you feel comfortable doing it. And after I glued everything on, I realized that this little leaf was a little crooked, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just fixing that. And then I flipped it over and added a piece of twine for hanging. And like I said earlier, I later covered all that mess with another piece of paper, which you will see at the end. So now about the Plaid Giftaway collaboration. All of us here on this flyer have joined up with Annie from Indie Annie Jones to bring you this wonderful playlist filled with a lot of DIY inspiration and to let you know how you can enter to win a box of Plaid products. So now we're on to DIY number 2.
Alright, this one is one of those Dollar Tree signs. The believe on it, I took it off and it broke apart, so I'm not going to use that. So I'm just going to sand this.
So I'm just using diluted Waverly Antique Wax. And then I use a stencil brush to just distress with some white paints, which didn't really make much of a dent because it's MDF material. I then cut down a piece of scrapbook paper and Mod Podge that on the inside. And from here on, it's pretty much straightforward. So I'll just let you watch and I will interject occasionally. For this part, I just traced out 3 hearts using that black cutout heart from Dollar Tree and sanded down the edges with the sanding block. And then I used some Mod Podge to join them together. And then I just took a piece of this burlap trim from Dollar Tree and just wrapped that around the edges. Now for this part, this is double-sided tape from Dollar Tree, which I used to raise the heart of the paper. I then cut down a piece of craft stick with my miter shear. This is a pack of adhesive letters from Dollar Tree and it was all silver, which I didn't want. So I used some apple barrel red paint to paint over the letters to form words "Be Mine." And then I pasted those on the craft sticks, which I mounted with some more of that double-sided tape. And I had a little piece of that greenery left over from the first project. I glued that on along with the wording. And this DIY is done. So now on to DIY number 3. Now this, I'm calling this wooden palette heart decor from Dollar Tree. And these are the paints I'll be using for this project. So I coated this with some diluted white Waverly chalk paint. And then I gave it 2 coats each of these acrylic paint. And ooh, I love this color palette. And here I'm just taking some antique wax and I'm covering those areas on the middle, on the inside, right here. And then I damped my brush and applied some Mod Podge over the surface. Then dried it with some heat. And all the tools and supplies I'm using will be listed in the description box below. And now it's time to embellish this little sweetheart. So I took some of these laser cut wooden hearts, some leftover gold eucalyptus pick, some of these ribbons also from the Dollar Tree. Now, because of the different texture of the ribbons, it was easier for me to just make a messy bow, which is what you see me doing here. And I'm just organizing how I wanted to lay down everything before I started gluing them on. And for the little hearts, I kind of placed the colors in contrast and glued those on as well. And to add a little bit more pizzazz, I added one of these foam roses from this pack. Added back the string for hanging. So after I looked at it and I thought I was done, I'm like, no, I need something else. So I'm gonna take my black Sharpie and I'm gonna do some stitch marks on here. This gives it a little definition. And I'm only going on the outer parts. I'm not going in the middle. Done. Now I thought it needed something else. So I'm going to take my Sharpie again and I'm going to write the word love. So there you have it, guys. You made it to the end of the video. I absolutely love these quick and easy plaid DIY inspirations. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. And if you are new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I'm happy to have you. And don't be afraid, guys, I don't always sound like this in my voiceovers. If you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell and select all so you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. And don't forget to hop on down to the playlist in the video. Make sure to like, comment their secret word, enter for a chance to win that box of plaid products. And if you like budget-friendly content like this one, be sure to watch this video or this playlist, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!